around. I just wanted to talk a little about this Canon 1DX Mark I, the OG. Is it still relevant in 2021? Yes and no. So this camera is kind of a mixed bag for me because I shoot with the 1D Mark IV, and besides getting used to this camera, because I've shot with it exclusively for a few months now, and I like it, but at the same time, I don't. Because I love my 1D Mark IV. Pick it up, shoot it, no problem. This one, I don't know. It's like, don't get me wrong, the features, awesome. The custom functions, perfect. These two buttons for whatever you want them, great. Autofocus system, if it's a person, amazing. If it's an animal, oof, 50-50. Button placement on the bottom here, no. I absolutely do not like this button placement. Primarily, okay, well, let's back up. The one thing I don't like is the zoom. I'm used to just, you know, on previous Canon cameras, almost all of them, you push the plus button to zoom in. You push the plus button, you go to your autofocus point now. And it takes a while to get used to. I do not like it. The menus also don't make too much sense. Some of the things aren't categorized where they should be. So one of my main gripes with this camera is the autofocus system. I know it's supposedly been highly improved since the 1D Mark IV. However, like with these cases where you can select kind of what you want the autofocus system to do, which is cool if you're tracking people. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're tracking someone on a bike, camera will do fantastic. It will track them, it will work, you change the different cases, perfect. However, if you're going after birds, if you're going after geese, if you're going after little puppies like I got, no, this autofocus system does not work. If I take a burst of, say, I don't know, 30 photos, I'll get maybe 3 to 4 that are in focus using either a Sigma 50 Art, which is tack sharp, or the Canon 24-70, which, I mean, it misses focus. Even like a 300 or 400 mil lens, it misses, which I've never had happen. Like, it consistently misses. Right? Consistently miss. Yeah, I've been losing faith in it. And then what's worse is whenever you're focusing through the eyepiece, I don't know what's up with the viewfinder. It's very, very hard to tell if you're in focus or not. Like with the 1D4, I know exactly what's in focus and if it's not in focus. In here, it looks focused, and then I preview the photos, and they're obviously out of focus. If I take like 2 pictures and the autofocus locks on, and then I check it, oh, it's out of focus. Yeah, not too pleased with that. However, what it has going for it is full frame 18 megapixels. Photos look great, look sharp. It overexposes by about half a stop, which I don't know why. Even when it's set to be just perfect, it overexposes. The metering, like almost any scenario you throw at it, it's almost perfect. Besides overexposing with certain lenses, it's pretty close to perfect, I'd say, because it has 2 processors, one for metering and one for actual photos. And then compared to the 1D Mark IV, this camera has amazing high ISO performance. Like, I don't feel afraid to step it up to 12,800 ISO, even if I'm at the park and it's getting late. I don't care. I can stop it up, and when I look at the photos, they're pretty clean. I mean, I can do a little noise reduction, but I can do 12,000 ISO on this camera, and the photos turn out great. On like a 1DX or 1D Mark IV, anything about 1600 to like 2400 ISO, I'm getting a little scared because it's gonna be noisy. And the 5D Mark II, I mean, the high ISO noise was just pretty bad. So if you're taking pictures of stars, this camera's great, except for the weight. And one other thing I love is how quick the USB port is. I could transfer like 2,500 photos on my computer in 5 minutes. Because I have USB 2.0. Or you can use this Ethernet port and transfer them so much quicker. And when you connect to GPS, you can see the data on the screen with a little point. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's what I do love about this camera. And additionally, if you shoot RAW on here and head into the menu, they have a RAW image processor here that you can customize your settings. Brightness, I believe there's sharpness, there's white balance, there's all these settings that you can change. There's noise reduction. So say you need a JPEG for something and you shot RAW. Using the camera, you can process those RAW images into JPEGs almost exactly how you want them. This blew my mind, because I could instantly take a photo from here, turn it into JPEG, transfer it on the phone, and put it up to Instagram or Facebook or whatever, without needing to sit down with Photoshop and edit all the pictures I want. So this is a pretty good camera for that. However, I just got it maybe 6 months ago, 6 or 8 months ago, and I will be upgrading to the 1D Mark II, because the ability to not see what it's focusing on and not have the individual points light up in the viewfinder has been a killer for me. That just compromises how I take my photos, especially for wildlife. No, I will be upgrading. However, if you can deal with that, I recommend renting it first before you buy it, because if I had known this, I wouldn't have bought it. Additionally, there's two more things I want to talk about. One is this live view button. Initially when I got it, I thought it was a stupid button and I was never going to use it. However, this button comes in so handy that you can just click the button and boom, do a video, take quick pictures. This live view button, I don't know why more cameras don't have it. Really, really handy. More pro cameras, that is. So that, great feature. Much enjoyed over the 1D Mark IV. Now, two of the gripes. One gripe is that if you're using LP-E4N batteries that work with the 1DX and 1D and 1DS, they do not last long in here. I could take 500 shots and the battery needs to be charged. And these are brand new batteries that I bought from Canon. So they do not last long in here. And then the LPE19 batteries made exclusively for the 1DX and 1DX Mark II are crazy expensive. I mean, stupid expensive. $200 for batteries, not including the $200 charger. So, if you want to use the cameras from your 1DS, you can, or 1D Mark IV, you can, but they're just not going to last as long as the battery's made for this. I think it's optimized for the 1DX. And then, I say this in my other video about the comparison between 1D Mark IV and 1DS, or 1DX, is that this screen, while if you're wearing normal glasses, not going to apply to you, you can see the screen just fine if you're wearing glasses. If you put polarized sunglasses on, you will not see this screen. You will have to turn your camera 90 degrees to be able to see the photo you just took. Along with seeing inside this inside the viewfinder is incredibly difficult with polarized lenses, because the polarization shifted. It used to be polarized the opposite way on the previous camera, and for the 1DX they shifted it horizontal. So it makes it incredibly irritating if you want to see the photos you took, because you either have to change your camera orientation or you have to take off your sunglasses. which bugs me to no end. I mean, because I shoot a lot of photos outside in the sun, and not having the ability to see if it's in focus or not is irritating at best, and just downright dumb at worst. Especially because I take pictures of wildlife, so if you miss the shot, sometimes you can refocus it and get it again. If you're taking pictures of people, it'd be a very bad day if you go, oh yeah, it's perfectly in focus, only to look back through your 1,000 photos and only have 10 that are in focus. So just beware if you want to buy this camera in 2021. You can use non-polarized sunglasses, not an issue. If you want to use polarized sunglasses, I'd avoid this camera. If you care about using it strategically. If you're just planning on messing around and don't really care if your photos are in focus, or if you can see they're in focus right now, wouldn't be a huge deal. But for me, it's a huge drawback just not being able to see if that crane or that eagle I took is in focus or not. And if you miss the shot, you can always retake it if you know that it's out of focus. If you're looking back at it later and the eagle flew away or whatever, it's too late. But hope this review about my current use of the 1DX helps you in your purchase decision. For like probably 95% of people watching this, either this or the 1D Mark IV would be a good fit for you. However, for me, even though I don't shoot super professional, the 1D Mark II is what I'm after, because this is great as an upgrade, but it's still not exactly what I want 100%, and I'm not going mirrorless. Nope. And the 5D series, after having the 5D Mark II, the 5D Mark IV isn't even a good option for me, since I'm more wildlife focused and action focused. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys.